Yo, is good, yo. It's your boy Ty back here with another video, and in this video today, guys, we're gonna be talking about if NBA 2K23's pace of content drops is good in my team right now. Now, what does this mean? Okay, well, it basically means, so let's just look at the most recent drop, Tracy McGrady and LaMelo Ball. Should they be as good as they are? Or do I wish they had, 5 Hall of Famers in way worse stats for the time we are in? We're going to be comparing it to 2K22 and even 2K21. And just kind of talking about what is this game going to look like come June, July, and August, right? What is this game going to look like come those months when the game is about over with? Now, before we dive any further, man, make sure you guys do smash that subscribe button. So, let's just look at December 9th, okay? This content drop that we just got with T-Mac and LaMelo. Don't even think about how good it is, okay? With good of the cards it is. What you got to think about is you got to really think about the badges and the stats. So, December 9th, I guess, this is the content drop. Well, where's the content drop? Was this the Friday content drop that we got? This is kind of gross for a Friday drop. But here's what we saw, okay? Dr. J had 9 Hall of Famers for this specific time. It was nearly perfect stat-wise. So this Dr. J compared to this Tracy McGrady, they're eerily similar. For how good they are eerily similar where, they're not missing much, man. They both have really good stats when you compare them. And honestly, badge-wise, they're really, really similar. So let's go back to 2K21 MyTEAM and see what we got around December 9th. This is when we saw the pink diamond Derrick Rose, who I'm going to tell you guys right now, if we saw this type of a Derrick Rose, and obviously the game's changed, but if we saw this Derrick Rose tomorrow, he would not be a top 5 point guard in the game. He just wouldn't. That's just the way it is. Part of that's because Derrick Rose is not good this year, whatever else you want to say. But we also saw this George Gervin, who, I'm going to say it like this George Gervin would maybe be the best shooting guard in the game right now. If we saw this exact George Gervin, I don't know for sure, he'd be up there with being one of the best shooting guards in the entire game. So that's just kind of what to look at, is the differences in content drops. If we saw this Dwight Howard, he's just a worse version of Kareem. So I feel like the content drops, or at least the pacing this year, is relatively similar. We just have less cards. Now, in my opinion, the reason we have less cards is because of the trophy case. And the trophy case is something that we never had a card like this in early December, ever. You can go back and look at last year's best card in December, who I'm going to try to find whoever it might have been. But even the best card, like the Giannis of the world, man, I mean, this Giannis is really similar to the Giannis we got this year, right? We have nobody Dr. J, Tim Duncan's level. And honestly, guys, we have nobody even the level of a guy like Anthony Davis. Nobody even close in past years. And so this is all fine, but we've got to take into consideration right now, I'll say this. Right now, I still think the content is coming out too fast, but it's not panic mode, right? It's not coming out at a pace that we have not seen before, right? But what I am going to say right now is we're on the pace of, we're going to see endgame card. We're going to see invincible cards as early as May? I think is when we saw our first invincible card. Heck, we saw one in April, okay? And then we saw endgame cards. 2K is probably going to do this exact same thing this year, which, do I like that? No. Do I expect it? Yes. Now, what scares me the most, okay, is we are 2 weeks out of this. And this is what I personally am scared of. Why am I scared of this? Well, this is what scares me, is the fact that we've already seen an opal. That's what scares me. If we had not seen this Paul George, I would personally be like, okay, we're fine for a little bit, right? And I know he's a special edition card, and maybe 2K is just going to drop, them really slowly. But that's what scares me. And Paul George wasn't good enough, and he's, with his SIGs and stuff, that he doesn't really change the game. But what scares me is if we see a drop like we saw last Christmas, This would change the game forever. We get Bron, and then we start getting pink diamonds that look like this with no flaws in their game. That and a Kawhi that can play the two, that's really what I'm scared of, okay? That's what I think can, honestly, and I'm not going to say for sure it's going to ruin the game, but I think that could possibly ruin the game because right now, they're going at a pace that I don't necessarily hate. Do I think the trophy cases put it tough on 2K? Yes, because you guys got to realize a dark matter is available this season. Okay, so that sets the precedence, right? The fact that a dark matter is available probably in the next couple of weeks here, at least next week probably. So we're already seeing a dark matter by the end of season 3. So that means whatever we saw in season 4 last year, it might get even worse. Now, hopefully what I'm hoping is Larry Bird is the only dark matter we see till season 5. Now, it's probably not realistic considering we saw a dark matter collector level Gary Payton not too long after. But even if we look at the Galaxy Opals we saw early January last year, these cards are too good for the time, man. They just are. And you guys can disagree if you want. But they're just too good for their specific time because the next KD after this one was the Dark Matter fans' favorite one, I'm pretty sure. And he had 27 Hall of Famers and literally perfect stats. So that's kind of what scares me about the trophy case. And I don't know what the next thing is going to be. Are they going to do another trophy case? I don't necessarily know. But I'm hoping, as far as content-wise, 2K slows the pace down a little bit. Otherwise, we're going to see Invincibles in April. We are. And I don't want that, man. And 2K has the luxury of right now, they can drop so many different cards. Okay? Because right now, we still haven't seen a David Robinson. And say whatever you want, David Robinson last year, I mean, he had this card, and then the Galaxy Opal came out before 250K as well. So, I mean, we saw 2 by March. We haven't seen a D-Rob yet. I mean, we haven't seen a lot of the cards that we saw last year. And so that's one thing that I'm personally kind of hopeful of is, okay, yes, the level of cards is remotely the same. But we haven't seen a Monte Ellis yet. We haven't seen, a new Zach LaVine. We haven't seen a better Grant Hill. We haven't seen a Drew Holiday in my team. We haven't seen, a lot of these cards. And so for me, that's what maybe gives me a little bit of hope. Have we seen even a Chris Webber yet? I don't think so. That gives me hope that maybe 2K can start giving us more content more often a week. This is my ideal. Okay? 2K starts giving us more content of just more total players in my team. And they slowly progress, right? We don't need to jump from this T-Mac with 8 Hall of Famers to a month from now getting cards with 20 Hall of Famers on a consistent basis. We don't need that. And I'm fine if they want to start dropping Opals with 12 Hall of Famers or whatever. That doesn't bug me. But we can't start dropping overpowered cards this early in my team compared to what we did last year. We can't. That's just something we can't do. Now, they've been going at a scary similar pace. And so that scares me a little bit, but I'm hoping 2K can hold it down. Because the last thing I want to see is a dark matter at the start of season 4. If we see, and I know they might be more balanced this year with only 20 Hall of Famers, whatever. If we see a dark matter at the start of season 4, it's going to get really, really, really scary in my team. And honestly, last year they held the dark matters until February 18th. So I guess, at least they can hold them till then. But I feel like that was the problem because up until then, 2K had been doing a decent job. Say whatever you want. In middle of February, we still didn't have overpowered cards. Like, yes, this Paul George was good. He wasn't perfect, though. He wasn't overpowered. So I really think this is when it got really bad in my team, was the end of February. And I'm hoping 2K can just push that a little bit back this year. And it starts with slowing down content. Not content, but slowing down the effectiveness or the overpoweredness of content right now. I gotta say, they didn't make LaMelo Ball as good as I thought they would. And T-Mac's not like overpowered good. This Giannis this Giannis is pretty overpowered, I'm not gonna lie. But he still wasn't perfect. He only has 8 Hall of Famers. Can't get limitless. They still didn't make him perfect. So I'm optimistic that 2K is doing a better job holding on to cards. Just hoping, I'm hoping for everybody's sake that we don't see both Invincibles and Endgames this year. Enough is enough, guys. Give us one perfect 99 everything stat card, and if you want to change your SIGs, do it, but do it on that one card. The opportunities are endless. We have so many different players that they could be releasing. We don't need to get rinse and repeats, man. We don't, okay? Start releasing more content without them, being that great, and that's what's going to make this 2K absolutely elite. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, guys. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you aren't doing it. As always, man, I love you guys, and have a blessed day.